Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another series review. Today, we are going to take a look at Andor. We're not going to do an IMDb. We're not even going to do a rating. We're going to give you just
Mm,
what we think about the first three episodes that Disney gave to
yeah.
us. So they gave us 3 episodes. I was super excited
Mm.
because the first season aired 2 years ago almost?
Yeah, it's been a minute. I think around when the pandemic was going on, or a
Yeah.
little bit after.
I didn't know what to think about this joint because
Mm,
but I have a theory, because I was just like, there was just a lot of moving parts that really didn't make any sense. Like
yeah, I had a beef about that.
there were two things in this entire the 3 episodes they fed us that I was just like,
Mm,
why are we here?
yeah.
And
No,
why
because
are we listening to like EDM music? Come on.
I hate that. I when you get a sci-fi thing like this, I hate it. I hate seeing EDM music that sounds like modern music. I hate it. Cannot stand it, especially for Star Wars of all things. It irritates me. But like they're trapped because this thing is a prequel to a movie prequel to Star Wars. So they have a timeline. They can't deviate from this timeline. And there's only so much stories they could tell because these characters are not that interesting, and only Mon Mothra. What's the name? Not Mon Mothra. I was gonna say
Mothma.
this. That's a
Mothma.
Mothma. Yeah,
Mhm.
Mothra is in Godzilla, but she's the only character that is in all three things: the
Yeah.
Star Wars,
Mhm.
Rebel One, and then the Andor show.
Yeah.
She's the only one that ties into any of this stuff. And so she's like, she's a cool character because everyone's like, "Yo, who's this blonde chick?" Like it was a. I remember as a kid, I'm like, "Who's this lady? She's charged. She's in charge. Everyone's listening to her."
Mhm.
So like, it was a thing. So they made the character. They hyped her up for the show, and then they made her boring as a senator. Like she's not really doing anything.
They made her boring and whatnot.
Yeah, she's doing office politics and she's got a marriage. Like I don't care about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I thought she would be more integral to the rebel thing and getting this thing off the ground. But like, she's worried about this other guy and like you see every time I see her talking to that other dude, I think she's having an affair. She
Yeah.
has no chemistry with her husband.
Right.
That guy's just a guy.
Every
It's
time
like
I
a
see her with that
roommate.
guy, I'm just like, yo, first of all, he's got some really good hair though, doesn't he? He's got some really good hair. I'm like, damn, he's got some hair and whatnot. So I'm like, wait a minute. Do they have a
Yeah,
relationship?
yeah.
Do they have an affair?
That's what it looks like. Every
Yeah.
time I see them, they look like they're talking like, "Yo, they're gonna see us with the secretary." Like, what are we doing right now? Like,
Yeah.
everything looks weird. It looks weird.
Yeah, so let's talk about like some of these episodes. Okay, so let's talk about the what happened in the second episode because the second episode I feel was
Mm,
just a complete non-starter for me. It was just like, why do we even they you know what they should have gave us one episode because episode
yeah,
2 was nothing, right? It was just like uh,
it was a filler episode.
it
It
was
was a
dude,
filler of fillers.
it was like just a bunch of geeks on a planet trying to like rip off a ship and then fighting each other. It's just like, t- just okay. What was the purpose? How did that feed into this storyline
It
moving forward?
didn't. It wasted
Exactly.
time. Because
Now
here's
let
the
me.
thing.
What's
This is
up?
what should have happened.
What?
He comes down to this planet.
Hmm.
His contact's not there. He got offed by this rebel group,
Hmm.
and then he gets away and gets back in the ship and
Right.
goes right into episode 3. That's what should have happened. You could have done all this in episode 1. Literally, you could have knocked all this out in episode 1, knocked it out, made it like 10 minutes longer, knocked all the stuff out, boom, right into episode 2.
Two
Episode
episodes.
episode 2 is worthless.
Yeah.
You could have
Completely
got rid of it and
worthless.
just jumped to episode 3, whatever, call it a day. Episode 2 is absolutely worthless. And the thing that irritates me about this, and we talked about it a little bit offline, but like okay, the rebels there are starving. They don't have any food, and there's the planet. They're worried about beasts on the planet, whatever. And then you have a pilot and a spaceship. So you can go anywhere in the galaxy, grab some food, get some space Wendy's, and come back. You can do that.
Space White
You
Castles,
have a
you
ship.
know?
You have a spaceship that's got a hyperdrive in it. You can go anywhere and come back within a couple hours with food. What the hell? This
Mm.
is so stupid. And the fact that these are supposed to be rebels, but they're all fighting each other and no one's in charge, unlikely. Unlikely.
Yeah.
Unless the person who's supposed to be in charge died, there would be a number two in charge because it's rebels. They have to have some kind of leadership. It's not a ragtag group of boneheads. Like, what are we doing here? It's such a stupid episode. It irritated me. I'm talking with my hands. That's how annoyed I am. Just ridiculous.
Okay, let me give you something else to be annoyed by then. um, episode 3. Half of that was a waste of
Mm,
time. I mean, like, first of all, they were like
absolutely.
at Mothma's estate where I guess her daughter was getting married. And
I don't care, man.
I was just
I
like,
don't
what is this
care.
all about though? Like, first of all, I'm just like, what is it that they said that
Mm,
will move the entire Rebels or, storyline forward? I didn't see any of that. And then the other thing is, this is Star Wars, two things here, right? Star Wars, so
mm.
while they were having like I guess the wedding reception party, they were playing EDM in Star Wars. Come on.
I stopped. I had to stop the show
Come on.
and turn off my Disney Plus and go outside. I couldn't. I When I started seeing the dancing, I was like, "Oh God, oh why? What are we doing here?" But like this episode was, it was a good chunk of it's pointless because like when I was watching, I was thinking about this. Like you saw The Godfather.
Hmm.
The Godfather has this giant wedding. The whole movie's about this wedding. All
Hmm.
right.
Yep.
But you don't see the wedding. You see them dancing for 2 minutes, and then it goes back to the intrigue behind the doors
Yeah.
with the Godfather.
Right.
And the
Exactly.
actual storylines happening there in the backdrop of the wedding. That's what it should have been.
Hmm.
I don't need to see all the you're betrothed and I gotta walk over the stick and I gotta do all this dance and I don't want to see all that. Unnecessary. And like other thing too, this is Star Wars. This is not supposed to look like Earth. It's not supposed to look like Earth wedding. It's supposed to
Does
be as far away as that as possible.
dude.
So like this wouldn't make
Yes.
from the George Lucas perspective, none of this would have happened that way because he doesn't want it to look like Earth. You're supposed to look at Star Wars as this is a galaxy far away. I've never seen anything like this before. This is foreign to my sensibilities. And everybody modern Disney makes Star Wars like it's on Earth. And it drives me crazy.
Yeah. One of the other things was, okay, so we had the EDM music, which was wow.
Yeah.
I was just like, and then they had the party, and Mothma was just getting drunk as anything. And I'm just like, okay, what is the purpose here? Why is she getting drunk? Why is she upset? Whatever, right? Okay. And then you had
Yeah.
this here. I've never,
Mm,
ever, 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 ever in my
mm,
entire life watched
mm,
something that was in the Star Wars franchise, the Star Wars
mm.
universe, and did not see an alien race. In this entire 3 episodes, all we saw were humans. That's it. We didn't see
Yeah, yeah. No,
no
no, no,
one
no.
else.
There was one
Yeah, at the party,
at the
he had
wedding, but
the
it's the background.
yeah, but
It's
he
like
had the
way in the
big
background.
head.
You can see
Right,
them.
he had the huge head and whatnot. But I was like, no, no, no. You go to these joints in Star Wars, man. That's what Star Wars is all about. It's all about
Mhm.
diversity, right? You know what I'm saying? Star Wars
Yeah,
is
it would be.
DEI,
They didn't
you know?
interact with them. They
Yeah,
weren't really the focus. Like it's not
right.
a thing, which is weird. You're right.
So
It's weird.
so I have a
They should
theory.
you should have something.
So I
Yeah.
have a
Okay.
theory because okay, so we didn't see any, and we just saw this guy with a mask on. He put
In the
something over his
background.
head. Exactly, right? So
It
one
was the
person,
background. It
right?
wasn't. Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing I realized was, and you said this like when we did the Star Wars versus Star Trek, you said Star Wars is supposed to
Mm,
be lived in, right?
yeah.
And so I'm looking at some of these episodes and I'm like, wait a minute. He had a flathead screwdriver, he had a Phillips
Mm.
screwdriver, he had 1/4 inch microphone plugs. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, boop,
It's
boop.
supposed to be aliens. It's
Dude,
supposed to be
they
weird
had like
devices. They just
quarter
like
inch microphone plugs. This is Star Wars. This
yeah.
is way in the future. We're still dealing with like,
Well, it's supposed to be
cords.
past. It's supposed to be the past.
Yeah.
But like it's supposed to be. This is the thing. It's not supposed to be Western American
None.
things.
None.
That's the point of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be Americanized things, and that's what they did. Like this is the thing with the show. The show gets the aesthetic right. Like it looks like Star
It
Wars,
does. It
but it
does.
doesn't feel like Star
Doesn't feel
Wars.
like Star Wars at
And
all.
that's the thing. I cannot put my finger on what it is wrong, but like I know this is the thing. I've been watching this stuff for a long time. George Lucas had an interview, and this is going to be on topic, and it's not going to make any sense, but it's going to be on topic. George Lucas had an interview, and
Hmm.
he was talking about why there are no bras, and he was like, "Yo, you wouldn't have glasses or bras or anything like that because it's Americanized. It's in space. They wouldn't have the things that we would pick that would be normal that you would pick up at, and that's how Star Wars feels foreign." Because you would be like, well, this guy has reading glasses. Not in Star Wars, he don't have reading glasses. He would have like some special laser beam eyes,
Right, exactly.
right?
Hmm.
That's not Star Wars. Star Wars is foreign. It's supposed to look foreign and feel foreign, and
Hmm.
it has to look lived in. A lot of stuff on this show, Andor, is clean.
Too
Like it is
clean.
clean. Like this never, no one's ever been there before. They just rolled it off the lot and said start filming. That's what
Hmm.
Andor looks like. And then you watch all the old Star Wars stuff. Everything looked like they're in the Cloud City with Lando. It looked like people live there. Like it looked like stuff is busy. Like
That's
things
true.
are going on here. There's
Yeah.
dust. They
Hmm.
got there's dirt on the ground, like something. Andor looks clinically clean. Like they have a maid that's cleaning up everything. Like it doesn't look lived in. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have
For
a
real.
vibe.
I do have two other theories. Okay. Well,
Mhm,
one is just like just something I want to say. So
mhm.
Cassian, right? Andor or Cassian, right? Yo,
Yeah.
dude, he's like he was too emotional for me. You know, it's just like you're on a mission as a rebel. You're on a mission as a spy or whatever. You know, now you want to go back to
Mhm.
your homeland because something is happening, dude. You totally screwed
I
up
would
the
be.
entire plan. You screwed up
Yeah,
the
yeah.
entire
That
plan. Right. So
yeah.
there was some emotions there. He was just like, oh, no, 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 I got to go back. You know, screwed up the whole plan. Now, let me say this here.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
They gave us the first season of Andor almost 2 years ago. And then
Mhm.
2 years later, we have the series finale, which is season 2 of Andor. And they fed us the first 3 episodes, which
Yeah, we
was
get
not great.
in
Right.
3 next week.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
coming. They're dropping in threes. It's only gonna
Oh,
be in threes
okay.
for
So
some
that's
reason.
all right. So check this out, right?
Yeah.
Let me know what you think about this. So on a 2 year
Mhm.
hiatus, right? They
Yeah.
now had the opportunity to think about season 2 and to edit and edit and edit and edit and edit up to the last minute, right? So if you
Mhm.
take like Rebel Moon, what Zack Snyder did was he did Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2 all in one take. So, it was just like
Yeah.
everything flowed. Like when season 1, when episode 1 started of season 2 of Andor, I was like, it didn't really flow. He just all of a sudden showed up at
Yeah.
a academy and he was like a test pilot. I'm like, okay, how did he get here based on what happened in
Yeah,
season
no
1?
idea, man.
Yeah,
It
you know what
doesn't
I'm
make any
saying?
sense. Honestly, I swear to God, for the first 2 episodes, I was like, "What the hell is going on right now?
Right.
Who's this guy? What is this thing?" That's not what we remember about this show. Like, what's going on here? Because from the first, it was so long ago. The recap was kind of like, man, and honestly, I was confused for a minute about what's happening, what's going on, and then I finally caught up. But I had to go back and watch season parts of season 1 just to figure out what was going on. Like that's how far removed I was from the show. I think that's bad. Like normally when I watch a show, like say we watch Reacher, the next season of Reacher, I know what's going on. Like I'm familiar with what Reacher's so stick is. So when he starts a thing, I'm like, okay, cool. We're in this world now. We're good to go.
Right.
I for the first 2 episodes of Andor, I had no idea what was going on, and I didn't care. And that's another thing we got to talk about. Andor is boring. All right.
Straight up.
And this is the opposite of Star Wars. Star Wars is exciting, swashbuckling, you know what I'm saying? Like it's that the energy of a Saturday afternoon serial or you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of that thing of things happening every 5 minutes, like things are going on.
Mhm.
Andor is not walking and talking, but it is just non-eventful events.
Dude,
Right? That's the best way to describe it. It's just
it
non-eventful
it
events
really is,
and
man.
things that don't matter. and is not moving the plot along, or it's gonna get to somewhere, but like just hang in there. I might hang in there. Like this is it. You
Yeah.
don't have no more seasons after this.
No.
Get to it.
We
This
know.
thing should be. I don't need explosions, but like I want a more exciting story that's moving faster.
Mm.
Cause like I only see half a wedding and Amon dancing to techno music. I don't need to see all that.
Come on.
I only see you on a planet with some hobos that got lost,
And
and then now
then
they're stranded. And I gotta waste the whole show on that.
it's
Like I don't need to
crazy.
see that.
And then how about this here? I'll even go a step further, right?
Mm,
There was one interesting thing about this flick, about the three episodes they fed us, and that was Deetra, right? Um,
mm.
I kind of like her, dude. She's kind of interesting
I
to
like her,
me.
yo.
You know
She's
what I'm
nice.
saying?
She's
She's
sexy as
very
hell.
nice. You know what I'm
I'll
saying, right?
say it.
And
I'll
then
say it.
when
She's
I
sexy as
saw her
hell.
in her little beige outfit, I was like, oh damn, she has a little body too, yo, for real. I was like, okay, word. So she was really interesting. I love how she put old boy's mother in her place. Like, yo, listen, this is what we're going to
Mm,
do, okay? But check this out.
mm.
So they want to basically invade some sort of a outpost or something like that called Gorman. Like, is
Yeah,
that
with the spiders. I'm like,
right?
okay,
Is that a
interesting.
storyline
Kind of
though?
evil. No, it's not a storyline.
Yeah, that's what I'm
They're
saying.
trying to justify, because this is the problem for Star Wars. A lot of people have looked back at Star Wars and they're like, you know what? Maybe the Jedi were the bad guys, and the Emperor Palpatine was the good guy here. Like it seems like
Yeah.
he's just trying to run a galaxy.
Mhm.
He's trying to keep the trains
But
running on time.
but killing
There's
everyone.
actual
Mhm.
people who are like, maybe
Yeah.
the Emperor wasn't that bad.
No.
He's making some
Mm-mm.
good solid points here, but like they're trying to make the Empire be extra evil,
Yeah.
and because they're at the point now with the Empire where they're just running the galaxy. So like paper pushing, and you're like, we need more rockets on this planet. We need more spice on this planet. Like that's what the Empire is now at this point. They're
Yeah.
just doing paperwork, and so you got to figure out a way to make them seem evil. That they're gonna go steal this resource and destroy this planet. But here's the thing: the Empire is giant now. They have a super big army and all the weapons in the world, plus Darth Vader. If they're gonna take your planet, there's nothing you can do about
Nothing you
it.
can do about
Like,
it. You know, they're in charge,
you're gonna
you
take the
know?
L. You're gonna move. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna move.
You
So
know,
like, I don't think it's necessary. You just send Darth Vader down there. Like, hey, who's in charge? I'm gonna chop this guy in half, and the Empire's gonna take this planet. That's what's happening here.
yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, everybody, have a good night. Like, that's what happened.
I don't know about this one, man. I mean, we're not going to, I don't think we're going to
I'm
like
not
review this.
excited.
Yeah, let's do this. How about we do this?
Mm,
How about we
mm,
review this? Okay, we're doing the first three. Do you want to do a midi or do you want to just do the next review or be like the end?
mm. Yeah, no, we do the next review is the end, because like
Okay.
I right now it's boring. Like I'm gonna watch it, but
Yeah,
I'm
me
not
too.
excited about it. Like,
Mhm.
it's just kind of like, let me get through it.
We are talking
Yeah.
about Andor. It's available on Disney Plus season 2. They gave us 3 episodes up front. It's available on
Mm.
Tuesdays. Go check it out. Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.